In just December, you're doing around $5,000 or $6,000 per month, and now you're set to do $50,000 this month. You were able to come up with a purchase order for $16,000, 3,000 units, 5 ASINs within half an hour.
I would say even less.
What was your first impression when you saw the latest version of Astro?
I was pretty impressed from how it was before and how it is now. I kind of like predicted how it's going to look, but I didn't think it was going to be this good, right?
Is there any feature that you think that has really helped you push your business forward?
What helped me a lot is it keeps record of your suppliers. That's something that I always thought it was pretty cool. If I want to place another order, let's say next month, right, from the same supplier, I already have the list that I plugged in this month, so I could just refresh the ASINs to see them update and everything to the new prices, something new happened with that ASIN, and just place the order like that. So it would take even less time. It was like 10 minutes probably.
How much time do you spend on product research now?
Probably like 7 hours or 10.
7 to 10 hours a month doing product research. What was it before using this latest version of Astro? How many hours would you spend doing product research?
A couple days, because I was doing everything manually.
You're spending days doing product research and you weren't successful for pretty much the whole 2024. And bringing this new tool and you are successful, you're working much fewer hours, right? 7 to 10 hours a month, and you're successful. So that's quite impressive.
I think a lot of people are going to benefit from this. Once you see it, like, whoa, this is mind-blowing. It's different from what you see in the other softwares. The only bad side I would have to say Astro is I don't have nothing else to do now. It's so good that I do my work faster. Sometimes, like right now, there's nothing to do, right? Besides schoolwork,
Yeah, I get it. Look, I say it, I don't know if people believe me or not, but I literally spend less than 2 hours doing product research every month. You spend 7, I spend less than 2 doing product research. I've got everything I need. Hey, welcome everyone. Today I have an interview, a success story. We're interviewing Kevin, a member of the Telegram group and the YouTube group. He's been using Astro for a few months now, and we have a real good success story. Basically, Kevin in December of 2024 was doing less than $10,000 per month, around $5,000 to $8,000 per month. And just in 3 months, he's grown his business to almost 50K for this month. So we're talking about on almost 10x growth. Kevin, welcome. Thank you very much for coming to this interview.
well, thank you for having me here. Nice to meet you for the first time.
Yeah, real nice to meet you too. With Kevin, we've been going back and forth for a while. He's very curious. He has a lot of questions. He's a young fella. He's only 23. Am I right?
22.
He's 22. He's studying in college. He's from New Mexico. He's been working in online sales and just trying, dabbling in that type of stuff for a few years now. But he's seen some recent success, and it'll be real good to hear more from you. So take us back to when it all started.
Okay, so I started selling Amazon, I would say June, July of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I started with OA and RA.
So online arbitrage and retail arbitrage. Yep.
Yeah, started just going to stores. I remember it was kind of funny. Me and my mom were talking about this like an hour ago. I used to always just tell her to take me to stuff like go to Walmart, take me here and all these different stores.
And you were scanning barcodes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were doing the Reezy resales type of stuff.
yeah, I was doing it
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And now that I'm doing like big numbers, I tell her, oh yeah, I remember those. One time it was kind of funny because we almost crashed. We were going to Walmart to pick up some inventory I had placed.
That will really hurt your ROI. Crashing a
Yeah.
car will hurt your ROI. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny.
but so I did that for about 6 months. The beginning of 2024, I started to get into wholesale. Yeah, I jumped from doing OA and RA for a couple $1,000s a month to about 8K a month. But the problem when doing that, I wasn't doing consistent purchases, and I wasn't really negotiating the price of the goods.
Hmm.
And what I would do, I would place an order. I would wait at like around 2 months. I think I was waiting to pay off the debt because I was using credit cards,
Hmm.
and it was just slow. Because I mean, some like at the beginning, it was still pretty good, right? I was doing a couple $100s of sales a day, and then after a while, it just stopped. It was just zero a few weeks.
Were you choosing the wrong products to buy back then?
That too. I was
Yep.
choosing wrong products, but I wasn't doing constant buying, right? I wasn't doing it 1 month, every month. I was doing it every 2 months. And yeah, and also the products, some products were, I don't know, just buy bad products. For example, I did some of Funkos. I was buying some of them. I thought they were good. I placed an order. I think for that at that time it was a pretty big order. It was 2K for me, and most of them I was able to sell some of them, but most of them I still have them. So I'm just selling them on eBay, whatever I can.
Yeah, so that one didn't go too well.
Yeah.
Now, you were given access to Astro's beta in December of this year. I think, no,
Yes.
was it a bit earlier? Maybe it may have been a bit earlier. So you were given access to the beta of Astro. Now, how did it help you in general?
Okay, so I mean, the when we started the first time, right, the beta, there wasn't how it is now. Now it's better, right?
Yeah.
More features and stuff like that. So what I used to just do before I had Astro, right, I used to just have a pick up, like do the manual search of the products, see which ones were good, and have a Excel sheet and just put the products I was going to buy or the products I thought they were good and just call the supplier. But what I did with Astro, I searched every product that the supplier gave me, like the list, and then I just put in the ASIN and see which one was better, and like the better ones, the ones that would profit. I would use that list every month when I used to purchase because they don't really like bring new inventory that much. So I would
Mhm.
just use that list, so I didn't have to go and check the list all over again and
Yeah.
spend like hours or days. I used to just spend days doing it.
So before you had access to Astro, it would take days to go through a supplier list.
Yeah, 4 days sometimes because I'm
4
not
days
sure.
to go through it.
Yeah,
Oh, well, obviously that's very long because when you're using a typical software, the conventional stuff, you have to go, you do some scanning, you do all that type of stuff, and then you're literally looking at ASINs one by one, waiting for them to load, waiting for the software to appear, the plugins, whatever you decide to use, and then you're inspecting, and then you have to record what you inspect. So if you're inspecting 300, let's say you scan a list, you filter out the crappy ones, the crappy ASINs, and you're left with 300 units, then you have to look at them one by one.
hmm
Now, 300 units, looking at them one by one, it takes at least a minute at minimum per unit, per ASIN. So that's 300 minutes. Obviously, that's 300 minutes, that's 5 hours. But when you start finding some good ones, it takes even longer to inspect because you have to,
yeah,
you have to make a note of them. You have to write them in an Excel spreadsheet. You probably have to write some data points in an Excel spreadsheet. So that might even take 5 minutes just inspecting it.
yeah,
So that was some of your biggest challenges before Astro, just all that fatigue, like
yeah,
from having 4 or 5 days to inspect
yeah.
one
The
list.
days.
What was your first impression when you saw the latest version of Astro?
I was pretty impressed from how it was before and how it is now. Like I kind of like predicted how it was gonna look, but I didn't think it was gonna be this good, right?
Yeah.
It was better than what I thought. Recently made a purchase with this supplier for about like 16K purchase order.
16K. Yeah.
Yeah, it took probably like max 30 minutes.
Wow. 30
Yeah,
minutes.
30 minutes.
Okay, so just so like, because I know the maths of all this. So 16K purchase order will most likely, if the products are profitable, will probably be double that in revenue.
Yes.
If it's more than double that in revenue, it means it'll be quite profitable. So a 16K purchase order, it should give you $32,000 worth of revenue. If it's a bad order, it might be less, might be like 27, 28. That probably might even mean a loss overall. But if it's closer to 35 or 40, that means it's a lot of profit, a lot of money in your pocket. So that's a real nice one.
Yeah, I mean, Astro also has like a revenue calculator where it calculates
Yeah.
everything.
The projection, how much you're gonna be projected to make. Yeah. So what was the projection on that one?
It was like around 45.
Oh, wow. So you're looking that order. So you recently just sent that order through?
Yeah, it was the 19th of
It
this
kind
month.
of sounds like you'll probably have around 80 to 90% ROI on that order.
Yeah, like around 70. I think it was like 70 or 60 around there.
Okay, well, still good. That's those are the types of orders you want to see. How many units was that order for? And how many ASINs, if I may ask?
I think five, and then around 3,000, like around 3,000 units.
3,000 units. Okay, so you were able to come up with a purchase order for $16,000, 3,000 units, 5 ASINs within half an hour of
Yes.
doing.
I would say even less.
Yeah.
I would say even, yeah, it was even less.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. That's very good to hear. So, how easy was it for you to get started? Like, okay, you did have a bit of back knowledge from because you were part of one of the original betas, but how easy was it for you to get started when like just opening up the latest version of Astro, the one that's gone live?
Well, at first it was kind of confusing. Tutorials really helped. I was a little bit confused at first. I didn't know what some certain things were and how to use them.
Hmm.
And but after watching some of your tutorials, it did help understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I already knew how it worked, but like 200 because it's a new like layout and everything. So the tutorials really did help. understand like how the new features worked and everything.
So how do you think it's actually helped you? Like specifically, how has Astro helped you? Obviously, the finding products in half an hour is a killer, but what is it particularly that you think has helped you? Is there any feature that you think that has really helped you push your business forward?
Well, what helps me a lot is it keeps record of the your suppliers, right? That's something that I always thought it was pretty cool. Let's say if I want to place another order, let's say next month, right, from the same supplier, I already have the list that I plugged in this month, so I
Yep.
could just refresh the ASINs to see
Yep.
them update and everything to the new prices and whatever, like something new happened with that ASIN, and just place the order like that. So it take even less time. It was like 10 minutes probably if
Yeah,
I do that.
you can reprocess the old list, or you can reprocess the ones that you know are good as well. So
Uh-huh.
either way, and you can just see what's good this month. So that's what I usually do. Every month, I just refresh the ASINs that I know make sense, because I kind of want to focus on high volume ASINs, products that sell fast. I don't want to focus on slow volume. So I have a list of all the high volume ASINs, and I just refresh them, and then I see what's good. I'm like buy, 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 and I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I do as well. I try to do that as well.
Yeah. So is there any particular feature that you think that really helped? Like, for example, my favorite feature is the break-even strength, because the break-even strength shows you the historic profitability of a product. Like, so you'll know your break-even and the buy box, and it tells you exactly, if this product has been profitable for the whole history of the product. What's your favorite feature?
I would say the break even is pretty good. I was looking at some products yesterday. I was gonna place an order from this other supplier, just a test order, and I don't know. The price in Astro, right? It said it was profitable, but then I checked and it said the break even only. I think it was like 3 weeks ago, like 3 weeks before. I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain it. Okay, so 3 weeks ago,
it was a
the
loser.
pro from then to today, the product was profitable, but before that, it wasn't profitable, and then you could see it on the break even line. So like, oh, I'll just get that product.
Yeah, that's a very good point you said, because a lot of people, especially new sellers, but a lot of people, they fall for this trap. They buy a product that has been profitable in the last couple of weeks. They're like, wow, look how much money I'm going to make. But the only reason it's profitable is because there are no sellers. There are all very few sellers, and the price has gone up. But as soon as those sellers jump back in, like another 5, 10 sellers come back onto the listing because they just ran out of stock, the price dips to below, and it's below your break even, and you're losing money. So that's why that break even line and the break even strength feature really helps you filter out all the ones that are just profitable, like just for this instance, as opposed to when you actually filter by the break even strength, you see products that are historically profitable. That's always been profitable for you, considering your price. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and
So
also the other one that I would say I like is the Astro score. I mean, it kind of does the math for you. Like instead of you going like, oh, let me check this product, see like going through keep on everything, the Astro score kind of does that for you, and it gives you a score on how good that product's going to be. If
yeah,
you really want to like not do as much work, you could just look at the Astro score and then you just pick the best products from there. Like,
definitely.
yeah, I think there's 5 levels, right? So
Yeah.
from the bottom, for one would be like the worst, and five would be the best. So you could probably pick from 5 to 4 the best. Those would be the best products.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 5 and 4. You can consider threes sometimes because some data might be misrepresented. So you can consider threes and just have a look at why it's a three. Astro score 4 and 5 are good. So you like the coloring system where we give scores to all the ASINs, and you can see if it's dark green, it means it's to go. If it's red, it means not too good. Do you like that scoring
Yeah,
system?
I do like it. I mean, you don't really have to look at the numbers. You can see it's red.
Yeah,
It's not good,
nice.
right? It's green,
Yeah.
or like it's green or it's dark green. Well, that typically is pretty good.
So can you walk me through your journey? So because you're doing in just December, you're doing around $5,000 or $6,000 per month, and now
hmm
you're set to do 50,000 this month. And obviously, Astro helped you scale, but can you tell me what steps you took and how you scaled from 5 to almost 50,000 this month? From 5,000 December to 50,000 in March, by the way.
Yeah, so during the whole year 2024, right, like I told you, I wasn't buying consistently. I wasn't asking for discounts and stuff like that. My product research wasn't that great either. But I think December is when I looked at my revenue, right, and my profit, and it was pretty bad. I lost $3,000, right? It was a loss that year.
Mm,
I'm like, damn, I have to change something because isn't gonna work. So I started like that December. I placed an order, right, and it got here until I think the same month. But by the time it gets to Amazon, it is already beginning of 2024. But what I started doing is just asking for a discount for suppliers. Like, hey, is there anything you could do with this product? If I buy 1,000 units, if you give it to me for like $5 when it was originally 10. I
Hmm.
was doing that. Also, I started. We had Astro, right? So that helped a lot with getting better listings to see which ones were better.
Finding the good listings that are worth
Yeah.
asking a discount on. Yep.
Yeah, and I would say the most important would be just the discounts. Asking for discounts for suppliers after building a trust, right? You ask, and that did help a lot.
Yep,
Pretty
definitely,
good.
definitely.
Yeah.
Look, it's always going to be the case. The most important thing in this wholesale business is your relationship with the supplier. It's always going to be the most important thing. So that your ability to get discounts is going to be the most important factor of success on Amazon. It's always going to be the case. The thing is, you need to be able to pinpoint which ASINs are worth chasing. That's your role. And obviously, if you don't have the right software, you miss a lot of things. So that's where the right tool comes in place. So
Yeah, I would agree with you.
yeah. So you're doing $5,000 or $8,000 or $7,000 in revenue in December, and you grew it to almost 50 this month in March.
Yes.
What were the steps you took? So you got some discounts, you found some better products. The suppliers agreed to the discounts.
Yes, you did.
I say. Well, it's very hard to get a supplier to agree from a $10 discount to give you $5, from a $10
Yeah.
product to give you $5.
That was,
But
that was an
you might get,
example, right?
yeah, but you might get somewhere in the middle. So that's something
Yeah.
that, they might say, oh yeah, let's do $8, let's do $7.50. Okay, but that's huge, because an extra $2.50 worth of a discount could mean a lot more in ROI and profit. And that
Yeah,
means
that
that
is
those
true.
$2.50 that you save from this product, you can put it into a different product. And so you found some of these products on Astro and you requested a discount from your suppliers, and some they gave you. And then is that how it happened?
Yeah, basically, and I started doing more. I mean, it's only 3 months, right? But I started doing more consistent buys every month. Before I would just buy from one supplier. Now I'm buying from two, sometimes three, just to see if there's a test order. I'll do 3 times. So that helped a lot doing more consistent. Because I think from last time I bought from my supplier, I ran out like 2 weeks ago of the
Hmm.
products, but like I didn't have enough money to purchase again. So that kind of slowed everything down for me
Yeah.
right now.
Capital is always going to be a constraint. One thing I have at the moment is I don't have enough capital. I have too many profitable products and not enough capital.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
That's my problem, and I think Astro helps you find the good suppliers very fast. Once you find those good suppliers, you're going to have the capital issue where you don't have enough capital to allocate to all those products that you want to buy. That's where I'm at now. A lot of people, and I think you're in this scenario too, where you just need that money to come back from Amazon so you can spend it on better products.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
example, like you said, yeah, that's a problem right now. I also have this other supplier which I want to make a because I did a test order and it turned out pretty good. And I was thinking of placing another order with them, but the problem is I don't have money, right? So I don't have the
Yeah.
capital to place it. And I mean, looking at the numbers, I because I did it through Astro, I checked just to double check to see how much I need to buy. Because it also gives you, I forgot, the other thing I do like about Astro, it gives you like calculates how much you have to get for that month in order to sell out, right? Because it has like depending how many people are in the listing or how many people are in like the buy box range, it gives you an estimate on how much you should buy.
Yeah, just to for anyone watching, what he's referring to is obviously every product has its own sales estimate, but Astro goes a bit further than that. It looks at the amount of buy box people that are in the buy box contention or the buy box competitors, so whichever one is in range of the buy box, and it calculates how many you can sell considering them. So if a listing sells 1,000 units a month and there are 4 people that are within buy box contention, you jumping on will be the fifth. So by you being the fifth, that means you probably share 5 people will probably share around 1,000 units per month. So if that was evenly distributed, that means that you probably will sell around 200. So it'll give you that kind of estimate of how many you should be probably buying for the products to actually sell off within the month.
Yeah. Yeah, and also that was a big thing before because I mean the other tools just tell you how much the listing sells a month. So it doesn't tell you like the tools I used, it doesn't tell you how much you should buy. So I always used to like, oh, how much should I buy? Should I buy this amount? And sometimes I buy more. That's what happened with the Funkos. I still have them here because I bought a little bit more than it sold.
So what are some common mistakes that you think other sellers are making that maybe Astro could help?
One thing I noticed is, for example, like I said before, I'm buying too much, or yeah, because they see the list and says, oh, $1,000, 1,000 or 2 or 3,000 a month, right? So well, let me just get 1,000, and I don't really check because I remember when the Telegram group there was this one guy who did that same mistake. He bought like a big it was selling around like 2K per month, and the guy just bought 1,000 units and and it was too much. Yeah,
Yeah, and the price dropped, so he'll have to
yeah.
pull out a loss. And yeah, it happens very often. It happens very often. I like to think that the break-even strength feature within Astro helps people really avoid that issue. Besides Astro, what's another tool that you couldn't live without?
So like the software,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I would say Keepa. Keepa's pretty good.
Look, for anyone asking, Keeper's obviously the GOAT. They are the most important tool out there, and it gives the best historical data you need. So it's a very, very important tool for sure. But one thing that Keeper doesn't do, it doesn't consider your profit, your ROI, it doesn't consider your pricing, it doesn't do it's just data. So that's one thing about Keeper. It's just data, and you have to interpret that data. What do you do daily or weekly just to stay on top of things? And how does Astro help you with that?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple now, right?
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
how
at
much
first,
time do you spend on product research now?
probably like a week, not even a week, like a month, probably like I would say like 7 hours or 10.
7 hours a month,
Yeah,
7 to 10 hours a month doing product research. What was it? What was it before using this latest version of Astro? How many hours would you spend doing product research?
I would say like I said before, like it was a thing like a couple days because I was doing everything manually,
Yeah.
so it would take me days. And then since I'm not always, I have school, right? I have classes and homework, so I wouldn't do spend all day. And
Yeah.
sometimes it does get boring, right? Just
Yeah, yeah. So,
with
so
the
well, just
manually.
trying to understand things. So you were spending days doing product research as a student, obviously part
Yeah,
time. So you're doing this part time. You're spending days doing product research, and you weren't successful for pretty much the whole 2024. And bringing this new tool, and you are successful. You're working much fewer hours, or like 7 hours a month, 7 to 10 hours a month, and you're successful.
yes.
So that's a real good thing. So that's quite impressive. So what's one mindset thing that you think helped you achieve this success in the last 3 months? Like what's one thing you think that helps you positively achieve this, regardless of tools or anything like that?
Yeah, I just want to get the money,
You just want to
basically,
succeed,
right?
right? You just want to
Yeah, I
succeed. You want
mean,
to pay. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not. Well, I mean, my family's not really that wealthy, right? So that's why that's one motivational, like, right? I want to help my grandparents and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I
Your
like. I
abuela,
say,
your abuelos.
yeah,
Yeah.
abuelos
Okay.
and
Yeah.
abuelas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I would say the main thing
So
motivated me.
what do you see in the next 6 months? What do you see happening? Like, how do you project things? And I'm
If
going to
I
hold you to it. I like whatever you say.
okay.
I'm going to be back in 6 months. I want to hold it to it. And yeah, so this is important.
6 months, hopefully, my revenue, hopefully, I'll be getting around like 60 to 70 a month.
Hmm.
And profits,
Well, that's one thing we didn't mention. We didn't mention profit. So we spoke earlier and you said your profit margin was around 20%, correct? You're set to do
yeah,
45
around 16 to 20.
16 to 20%. Okay, so if you're doing 60 to 70,000 and we're talking about, let's just say 17% profit margin, what's that? 60 to 70,000 at 20%, that's around 14. So we're talking about 12 to $13,000 worth of profit
Hmm.
monthly. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna want to hold you to that standard. I want to see that happen. I want to see you
Yeah,
making 12 and 13,000.
I mean the way it's looking right now, I mean the with the latest product, it was I think it was like around 9 or 10K profit if I sell everything the price.
Yep,
So I mean the way it's going, hopefully I make more than that.
that's awesome.
But I mean, if with 10,000, I mean, I would say like 10 to 20. I'll try to stick with that range,
Yeah.
nothing less.
I'd be
I mean, if I
very,
do more,
very
that's
happy to
better,
hear that.
right?
Because obviously, ten to $20,000 worth of profit, that's
That's pretty big.
yearly.
Yeah.
That's 120 to $240,000 yearly. How many 22-year-olds make that type of money?
Now that I see, I was talking to one of my school's like advisors, and he was telling me the same thing, like, "Oh, Kevin, you're doing pretty good and everything." Because I told him as well, and then he was like, "Oh, you're doing great for a 22-year-old. That's a big numbers." And he's like, "Oh, you even make more than what I make."
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
technically, if you do this well, you have the right tools, the right mindset, the right, and by the way, Kevin did not start off with capital. Capital is real important in this business, and Kevin didn't have much capital. He's done this all himself. Like he took advantage of every opportunity he had, and he
Yeah.
grew his business to this point. It's not as if
Yeah.
he came in with $100,000 and said, "Okay, let's do this." No, he came in with pocket change.
Yeah.
And a few $1,000s here, a few $1,000s there, and was able to grow it. He took advantage of. I think you took advantage of a credit card as well.
Yeah. The way it started was because I get scholarships from schools, right? And it doesn't really I don't really use up all the money. So I would take some of that money and use it for my Amazon business. It was like I
Okay,
think it
well
was
there
like
you go.
5,000, 4,000, which I would get
Very
back from
thrifty.
school, and I would
Yep.
use that.
Very thrifty. That's awesome. Okay. That's so good. So is there anything you would like to say to the Astro team regarding your growth? Like, is there any, thing you want to say to them so I can push it to the devs?
I hope they keep improving. Everything looks pretty good, right? The layout, everything. There's some bugs in there, but I mean that over time you find out and you fix it.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
everything looks pretty good. Hopefully, if you could make something like this, like how Seller app has it, like you could pop up. I was thinking like a pop up, right? And then you put all the information and it just puts it into a list. But I'm not sure if that's possible.
Everything's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
One thing
something
that
like
we
that would be
do is we're very interactive. If someone tells us, "Hey, we want this," we will like consider it, and
mm,
definitely if it's a good go, we'll do it straight away. Like we'll get on it in a week. It'll be ready. That's one thing we do. So one thing for that I'd like the people to know is if there's something that you think that can help your business, let us know, and we will likely find a way to make it happen. So yeah, that's something that we definitely do. Well, Kevin, it's actually been very interesting talking to you. This interview went much longer than I thought because it was actually very
yeah.
interesting, and I'm very happy to see your success. I'm very happy to hear that Astro has helped you so much achieve this success, and in such a short time, really like 3 months, gone from 5K
Yeah.
to almost, it's set for 40 or 50K this month. Obviously this month is we're just 1/3 in, so you got a bit more to go. But yeah, I think you've said you've done around 35 so far, or 30 so far, and so you're pretty much set to do 45 for this month because
Yeah.
we're only 20 days into this month, maybe even 50, who knows. So that's real impressive, real happy to hear that. And I'm very happy to see that Astros had helped you achieve this type of growth. Thank you very much. And I'm really interested to hear what you're going to be doing in 6 months.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate all you've done with the Astro. It's a pretty big. I never seen a tool like this before, right? It's something new, which I think a lot of people are gonna benefit from this. It's pretty like once you see it, like, whoa, this is mind blowing. This
Yeah.
is great.
Thank you.
It's
Awesome.
different from what you see in the other softwares and stuff like that. It helped me a lot. It has helped. The only bad side I would have to say Astro is that I don't have nothing else to do now, right? Like
You're
it's so good that I do my work faster. And sometimes like right now, this whole day I haven't done anything, right? There's nothing to do,
Yeah.
right? Besides schoolwork,
Yeah.
there's uh,
Yeah.
just boring.
Yeah, I get it. Look, I say it. I don't know if people believe me or not, but I literally spend less than 2 hours doing product research every month. You spend 7. I spend less than 2 doing product research. I've got everything I need. Like if my capital increased 10x right now, like I just had more capital just to throw in,
Hmm.
I'd still probably only spend around 4 or 5 hours doing product research a month. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's pretty
it's
simple.
yeah, yeah.
It's pretty simple.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, and we'll hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for having me and have a nice day.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.